Welcome back, NYC Fragrance family. Yes, another video. A long time coming. It's funny because I had this fragrance in my spring list. It was at number one on one of my spring lists from a couple of years back. And I thought for some reason that I had reviewed it, and I don't know why I didn't, being that I held it in such high regard. But here we are in the summertime. I think it's a fragrance that is ideal for it. It's a niche fragrance, obviously. These are the type of fragrances that always have a more interesting value and vibe to it than your typical designer fragrances. The fragrance that I'm talking about is from Parfums Quartana, and the fragrance is called Mandrake. It's the bottle. It's got this cool blue glass to it. I love that orange plaque on the front of it. This is definitely one of those never forget fragrances. It'll make a lasting impression on anyone that smells it. It'll make a lasting impression on you. So let's give it a little sniff here. Just to remind me again. I know I just finished saying you'll never forget it, but yeah, I want to get a fresh spray of it just to get really acquainted with it. On the website, they call this a narcotic harmony of tart red fruit and creamy birch suede. And that description, I think, fits it almost perfectly. Me personally, what I get from this is a really green, fresh opening. Very fruity as well. And then on the dry down, you get woody and you get this suede vibe. It's like a soft, leathery vibe, so it's more like a suede in the dry down, which just lasts and lasts and lasts. This fragrance will last beyond 10 hours, probably close to 12 hours. I mean, I faintly smelled it on my skin the next morning after I wore it, so it'll stay with you. This thing has a note listing like an old school fragrance. You know, nowadays you get note listings of maybe 4 or 5 notes. This one here, and it's got some interesting ones that I wouldn't even know where to start and what to tell you what they smell like or what they would be like, because there are chords and I would call them fantasy notes, so to speak, by the perfumer that created the fragrance, right? You get crisp apple, which you definitely get up front. Pomegranate, for sure, up front. There's birch leaf and birch root. There's bergamot, which is nice and juicy. A mandrake flower accord. Now that, I can tell you, I don't know what that smells like on its own, but I'm sure it's in here, and I'm sure it's adding to the experience. You got a garden rhubarb. Now, garden rhubarb, again, couldn't tell you, but I have smelled a note of rhubarb, and you definitely get it in this fragrance. It is very prominent up front with that apple and the bergamot and the juiciness, but you pick up on that nice, sharp rhubarb note that cuts through that fruit, makes it something a little more interesting. You get some spiciness with some cardamom. You got a suede leather, like I mentioned in the dry down. There's patchouli. Then there's something called a deadly addiction accord. Now that, couldn't tell you what that is. I probably have to talk to Joe Quartana and ask him, or the perfumer, and see what that consists of or what it should smell like, but I don't know exactly what that is. There's Madagascar vanilla, the best vanilla you can get, sandalwood, and tonka bean. In that dry down, like I said, you get the wood, you get that nice creamy sandalwood, you get some vanilla, you get that powdery tonka bean dry down. You get that little hint of patchouli and that suede leather for sure. This is definitely, if you have not tried this fragrance, you got to get yourself a sample, a decant, whatever you can. Spring, summer, this is a go-to. You could wear it in the fall probably too. Early months of fall where it's still on the warm side. Once it gets cooler, yeah, you could probably still wear it. I don't see this, you know, when we classify the summer, spring, fall, winter fragrances, this one to me doesn't fall into a late fall, early spring, winter fragrance. We're talking late spring, summer, early fall. That's the way I see it. So, are you guys familiar with Parfums Quartana or Six Sense perfumes? Joe Quartana has a very interesting lineup of fragrances that everybody should get a chance to get their nose on at least one. You're going to definitely find something that you're going to like. This one's in the La Potion Fatale line of fragrances from Parfums Quartana. Definitely a line that you want to check out. All the bottles have that blue finish, blue glass, and they have different colors here as far as the medallion on the front of the bottle. That's how you kind of, from a quick glance, can differentiate which one you're grabbing, even if you don't see the name. The orange one is Mandrake, and there's other colors. This 50 ml is going for $175 US. Yes, again, on the pricey side, but it is a niche fragrance, and you're getting top quality ingredients in this fragrance. You make the choice. Again, if you're a niche head and you haven't gotten on this house, you got to get on this house. That's all I'm going to tell you. So, I hope this was informative. I hope you enjoyed this review. New viewers, thank you for stopping by. New subscribers, thank you for joining the NYC Fragrances family. And for those of you that are not subscribers, please subscribe, hit that like button so YouTube will keep recommending my videos, and that'll make the channel grow a little bit. My NYC Fragrance family, thank you for all that you do, and thank you for sticking with me. And until the next time, remember, if you smell good, you feel good. Have a nice day.